Hi! This week we find ourselves finally welcoming summer. I know it's felt kind of summery for a while, and it's sort of strange. One might think that summer begins when school ends, as my husband said the other day, but really we know that summer begins in this mid-June period. And in the Hebrew calendar, we're also entering the height of the summer months. We are now in the month of Tammuz. Tammuz is the month that occurs typically around June and July, just as our days are at their longest, when we're at our peak of the sunshine and the light time. Author Rabbi Jill Hammer refers to each phase of the year corresponding to a different part of the plant. So back in the winter, we were in just the branch stages, and then we moved to bud and to leaf, and now we're in the month of Tammuz, which is about flowering. It's the height of summer, the intensity of heat, blossoms have already fallen, and we might look around and see big, beautiful flowers everywhere. They're beautiful, but it's also an ephemeral time. In the Northwest, summer is a time of freedom. It's a time of celebration. We're outdoors, we're spending time with our neighbors, maybe who we haven't even seen over the course of the winter because everybody's been inside hibernating. But we know that it won't last, which is perhaps why we relish it all the more. In the Middle East and in the land of Israel, Tammuz is a parched season. It's dry, the sun is overbearing, and there's a threat that the remaining crops may fail, even though we have to make it all the way through to Sukkot in the fall, and that's the end of that agricultural cycle. Much ink has been spilled in our rabbinic tradition talking about the sun and its powers. Psalm 19 refers to the sun in the following terms: that the divine placed in the heavens a tent for the sun, and that the tent is the sun is like a bridegroom coming forth from this tent of his chuppah. Later, Midrash explains that God plunges the sun into a pool of water to temper its strength so that it will not burn up the world. It's from Genesis Rabbah, Midrash on that text. And so there's a lot of concern about the heat of the sun and the power of the sun and what it can do to us and what it can do to the world around us. Luckily, in the Pacific Northwest, we usually don't get to those insanely extreme temperatures, and we can just cool off in a pool, hop into a lake, jump into the sound, and all is well. But it's a time of year to be very aware of what is stressful to us. It's a time of year to be aware of inflamed tempers. It's a time of year to be aware of the ways in which maybe things are out of balance and there's some excess in our lives. So, while we're out there enjoying the sun of Tammuz and enjoying this ephemeral flower of summer that's just beginning, I want to caution us as well to keep in mind those cool pools of water, be they literal or metaphoric, that we can dive into when things get a little too hot. Wishing you a good week and a good summer.